Children of expats are entitled to childcare benefits. You have access to mortgage and some loans. 30% rule, okay? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back, okay? Thank you guys for all your love and support. It means so much to me, okay guys, so in today's video I'll be sharing with you some facts about the Netherlands that make it an amazing country for expats. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay guys, so the first benefit that I'll be talking about today is 30% rule. Okay, so if you're an expat in the Netherlands who have never lived or worked in the Netherlands previously, you may be entitled to what we call 30% rule for the first 5 years of your stay here in the Netherlands. In summary, what it means is that 30% of your salary will not be taxed. Okay, so I'm going to put a link in the description box so you can check out, read more about this rule, this policy for expats working in the Netherlands. But I tell you, it is a whole lot of financial benefits, okay? And if you're entitled to the 30% rule, then you're gonna like the next point, okay? So the second reason why the Netherlands is amazing for expats is that you can exchange your driver's license, okay? So I think this only applies to people who are qualified for 30% rule. So if you're qualified for 30% rule, you can automatically exchange your driver's license to the Dutch driver's license, regardless of the country you come from. Okay, now this is amazing stuff. Okay, for me, I was qualified for the 30% rule, so all I did was to take my Nigerian driver's license and go straight to my gemeente, handed over my Nigerian driver's license. I think I paid about 35 euros or thereabout, and then I applied to exchange and get my Dutch driver's license. I kid you not, I think about a month or so, I don't even know, but it didn't take so long. I got my Dutch driver's license. No stress, no passing of driving exam, all those things, no driving school, no nothing. It was just amazing how straightforward the process was. But another thing that I did afterwards was, after I got my Dutch driver's license, I actually enrolled for a driving class, which I would always recommend to any expat, just because driving in the Netherlands is a bit different with the bicycle track and a lot of more regulations. So it's always better to be on the safe side. So another thing that I want to mention here is, if the expat also has a partner who is living in the same address as you, then your partner is also entitled to exchange his or her driver's license. Guys, can I get a clap? Guys, you don't understand how much it makes life easy for expats. It just makes life easy for expats. The cost of learning to drive in the Netherlands, I don't think is less than 2,000 euros. It is expensive to learn how to drive and to apply for the driving test, driving classes and all of that. So being able to just exchange your driver's license with none of that hassle is a big deal. Now, another benefit of being an expat in the Netherlands is that you have access to mortgage and some loans. Okay, for your mortgage application as well, you don't need all them credit scores and all those things that you get in the US and the UK. It's not the case here in the Netherlands. So it's relatively easier to be able to get mortgage, to be able to buy a house, and to be able to take out loans here in the Netherlands as an expat. I'm also going to put a link in the description box that talks about, buying a house as an expat. So if you're interested in something like that, then maybe you can check that out. Okay? Okay guys, so one benefit of being an expat in the Netherlands is that you're entitled to maternity leave, paternity leave and parental leave, and I'll explain all these in details. Okay, so let's start with maternity leave. So as a woman here in the Netherlands, when you give birth to a child or when you're pregnant, you're actually entitled to 16 weeks of paid maternity leave. So you're going to be paid your full salary. Okay, you can take this leave about 4 weeks to your delivery date or 6 weeks to your delivery date, depending on your choice. But I think the least you can go is 4 weeks to your delivery date, and then the remaining part of the leave you take after delivery. Okay, now the next one is what we call paternity leave. And for paternity leave, this applies to the partners or the father of the baby. Men in the Netherlands are entitled to 5 days of paternity leave. I did hear that there was a policy to increase the number of days for paternity leave, but I don't know that in details. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to get a link also where you can read more about paternity leave, and I'll put it in the description box. Okay, now the last leave here is the parental leave. Parental leave is an unpaid leave that you can take out for the first 8 years of the child's life, and this leave is 26 weeks. Okay, so if you need extra time to spend with a child within their first 8 years of their lives, then you're entitled to a leave. Although the leave is unpaid, at least you're entitled to that time off. Okay, so another benefit of actually living and working here in the Netherlands is that a lot of companies actually cover your traveling cost as long as you live about 5 kilometers away from your workplace. Okay, so normally I know that most companies just provide the employee with a rail card. They also can provide the employee with, I think, some monetary benefits if you're driving. I think it's about 19 cents per kilometer. I'm not sure of all the details, but I'm also going to put a link in the description box so you can read more about it. Another thing that I want to throw in here is a lot of companies also cover what we call relocation cost. So if they're employing you from outside of the Netherlands into the Netherlands, in most cases, they'll provide you some allowance for relocation. I don't know if this happens for all companies, but at least I do know a number of companies that do that as well. So you can check with your company if you have anyone offering you any opportunity, whether they have any relocation allowance for you. Okay, so another benefit of being an expat here in the Netherlands is that children of expats are entitled to childcare benefits. So I do have a video about the benefit of raising a child in the Netherlands. One thing I mentioned in that video is that children of expats are entitled to childcare benefits. I also went into details the types of childcare benefits that we have in the Netherlands. So if you would like to know more details, then please watch the video. Okay, guys, so another benefit of being an expat in the Netherlands is flexible working hours. Okay, so in the Netherlands, full-time job is not only 40 hours a week. Okay, so full-time job ranges between 36 hours a week to 40 hours a week, and you can work 4 or 5 days a week. As long as it's not less than 36 hours, it's still considered full-time job. Okay, one of the things that we can take out with the whole COVID-19 situation is that now working from home is a thing, and in the Netherlands now you can also negotiate to work some of these hours from home with your employer, which is wonderful. I mean, it really helps with the work-life balance. Honestly, it does. Okay, so another benefit of actually being an expat here in the Netherlands is that you're entitled to paid time off. So I think the standard paid time off per year, or what we call holiday time off, I think, is about 20 working days in a year. So you know, some companies increase this to 25 working days in a year, depending on the number of hours you work per week. Okay, I do know that this is not the case in a lot of countries, that yes, you might be entitled to some paid time off, but it might not be a full pay, or it might not even be up to 20 days. But in the Netherlands, for your paid time off, you have a full pay, full salary, and the number of days is a minimum of 20 days per year. Okay, so okay guys, talking about holidays and paid time off, okay, every employee in the Netherlands is entitled to an extra holiday pay, and the minimum amount that should be paid to an employee is 8% of their average yearly wage. Okay, even if you've not worked for the company for up to a year, when it's time for the holiday pay, they're going to pay you 8% of the amount of time or how much you've earned within the short period that you've worked for that company. I mean, the holiday pay is not your paid time off, it's an extra money that is being paid to you, and is about 8% of your annual yearly wage, I think. Average annual yearly wage, I think that's what it is. But yeah, I mean, it just provides you with that extra cash to go enjoy your paid time off, period. Okay guys, so the final benefit of actually being an expat here in the Netherlands is the Netherlands is in Europe. So what that means is that the Netherlands is surrounded by other European countries, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, and you can travel to these countries without needing additional visa. So if you're someone who is very concerned about how small the Netherlands is, and you know how everything is just a little bit too small, a little bit too boring for you, then maybe you can consider the fact that you can actually travel to other European countries for holiday without needing additional visa. And in most cases, a lot of health insurance cover the cost in these European countries. So if you were to travel, your health care costs are kind of covered as well. No wonder the Netherlands has one of the highest number of employees with amazing work-life balance in the world. So this is the end of this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, do let me know in the comment section if you do have more questions regarding working as an expat in the Netherlands, and I'll be very happy to help. And if you're Dutchy, do let me know in the comment section some of the benefits that you've personally experienced working in your beautiful country. Thank you guys once again, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.